Welcome to the Matt Review Royals podcast, recorded and produced on February 16th, 2016. Today, I will give you an in-depth look at all things Kansas City Royals sports that will catch you up on Royals news from the last week. I also have trades and signings from the last week, a flashback, and 2 player highlights. Today, I will also try out my new revamped Exchange Lineup Cards segment. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a swing at the like button and throw a fastball into the comments. All my social media links are in the description, along with all the articles I used today. Now, enjoy the podcast. Okay, so I have a trivia question for you guys. Actually 2. And then I will reveal the answer in my exchange lineup card segment. So question number 1. Who was the manager of the 1985 Kansas City Royals? Again, who was the manager of the 1985 Royals? And question number 2. Who was the Royals' first round draft pick in 2007? Again, who was the Royals' first round draft pick in 2007? I recommend that you do not Google these answers and just test your own knowledge. But if you want to be that guy who Googles it, have fun. You won't learn anything. Yeah. Now on to my first article, because no trades were made. The Royals agreed to terms with their final arbitration-eligible player Thursday, when May and third baseman Mike Moustakas agreed to a two-year contract. The deal is reportedly worth a combined $14.3 million, with Moustakas set to earn $5.6 million in 2016 and $8.7 million in 2017. Dayton Moore has been the Royals' general manager for about 10 years now, and the Royals have gone 10 consecutive seasons without going to an arbitration hearing. That's a pretty big deal. So Moustakas is 27, and he is coming off his first career All-Star appearance last season after batting .284 with a .384 slugging percentage of .384, .470 on base percentage, with 22 home runs. All of those are career highs for him. Moustakas started all 16 postseason games, and yeah, he did very well in all the games. Last week, when we were hearing that Moustakas is still hopeful that they could sign a contract, he had requested about $8 million, and the Royals countered with about $4 million. So for the first season, 2016, they did get their midway point of $5.6 million. But then what's really surprising to me is it just bumped up to $8.7 million in 2017. That's a lot of money to go for. Moustakas has really only had like 3 good seasons in like his 5. I'm not sure how many seasons he's been with the Royals, but he is not there are some players that have had like great, Moustakas has had some good seasons and some bad seasons. So $3.1 million, an increase from one season to another, that's a lot of money. But he is a starter. I don't know. He's a great defensive player. His offense can just be a little shaky at times. Good deal all around, in my opinion. I'm just a little skeptical about the second year of this contract. If he will be a great player in 2017, like his paycheck would suggest. Who is the 4-time Gold Glove winner, the 4-time All-Star player for the Kansas City Royals, and the hometown hero? It's Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon was born on February 10, 1984, in Lincoln, Nebraska. He played baseball in high school and college, and excelled to be drafted by the Royals in the first round of the 2005 draft. He has been blunt about his first 3 years in the majors. They sucked. He went back and forth between the Royals and Storm Chasers. He never hit above or even close to .300, and many thought that he had peaked. They thought that until July 17, 2009, when Dayton Moore changed Alex Gordon's position from third base to left field. It took some time for adjustment, but in 2011, he had his best year to date. He batted .303 with 23 home runs and 87 RBIs in 151 games. Since then, he's become the face of the Royals and has won 4 Golden Gloves, 1 Platinum Glove. He has been an All-Star 3 times and has been on a World Series team 2 straight years. He extended his contract to 4 years, $72 million, with an option for 2020. The local boy is thriving and has proven to be forever Royal. The 3-time Gold Glove winner, an All-Star and 2-time Rookie of the Month winner. I'll give you a hint. It's not Billy Butler. It is, however, Eric Hosmer. Hosmer was born October 24th, 1989, in South Miami, Florida. Hosmer is a real baseball fan. He played baseball from an early age and traveled all around the country to play in tournaments. He excelled quickly and was the star of every team he played on. He was known to be glued to a TV watching Miami Marlins games to study every batting technique and then trying them for himself. MLB scouts took a big interest in him and was drafted by Kansas City in 2008 in the first round. The Royals farm system was ranked number 1 in baseball entering the 2011 season, led by Eric Hosmer and another top prospect, third baseman Mike Moustakas. He played his first game in 2011 and since has been a Golden Glove winner 3 times and an All-Star once. He was the tying run in the 9th inning of Game 5 of the World Series in 2015. The Royals went on to win that game, winning the World Series for Kansas City. It's time for a Royals flashback. The image you're looking at is me trying to use paint to make something in 5 minutes for the podcast. Okay. So, flashback. The year is 2013. It was the Royals' first year not having a losing season in over a decade. It was the last game of the season. The record was currently 85-76. If they won the game, they would finish 3rd in the American League Central. So, it is the final game of the season. The Royals are against the feels so awful for not knowing the name. Against Texas at Claudia Bench. The score is 0-0 going into the 10th inning. Both teams have had a great game defensively, but have struggled on offense. In the bottom of the 10th, the Royals are able to load the bases, and Justin Maxwell steps up to the plate. He has a pretty defensive plate appearance, and he's able to get the count to 3-2. The pitch. Justin Maxwell hits a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 10th to end the Royals' final game of the season. The Royals' final record is 85 85 and 76. They finished third in the American League Central. Their best year in over 13 years. Exciting game for the Royals. Now, the Royals seem to have been on a little get somebody good in August, and then in the trade for someone good in August, and then he has an amazing end to the season. That was Justin Maxwell in 2013. No one's really coming to mind in 2014. But 2015, of course, we saw Johnny Cueto and Ben Zobrist. They were both essential parts to the Royals winning. So Justin Maxwell was only on the Royals for about a month and a half. But yeah, so he played in 35 games, so just over a month. He had 111 plate appearances. He scored 14 runs, 26 hits, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 5 home runs. He was actually one of the team leaders in home runs, compared to Billy Beller's 15 and Alex Gordon's 20 that year. 17 RBIs, and his batting average was .268. So he was a very good player for the Royals. Yeah, this has been the Royals flashback of the Justin Maxwell walk-off grand slam to end 2013 for the Kansas City Royals. Maybe it's foreshadowing of what was to come in the next 2 years and hopefully 3. It's now time to exchange lineup cards. Today I will be taking my sister Sophia's lineup card. Yeah, I have a sister. Okay. So the way that this is gonna work from now on is I have 5 questions. 3 of them are kind of like I call them get to know you questions, and then 2 of them are random trivia questions. Okay, I have to be honest. I got 1 out of the 2 trivia questions right because I was confused about. I don't know. I was trying to be smart and stuff. But yeah. Okay. So question 1: how many stadiums have you been to? Sophia and I have both been to 2 stadiums, Kauffman Stadium and Target Field. It was a great game that we saw at Target Field. The Royals won. Okay. Best memory of the Royals: Sophia Pepper Royals Parade. Yeah, that was a pretty exciting game. So Sophia was looking at the Royals 40-man roster once I showed her where it was and explained to her what that was. And she decided that her favorite players in the MLB were Salvador Perez. No, yeah, in the whole MLB. So favorite player in the MLB, she put Salvador Perez, Alex Gordon, Bubba Starling, and Eric Hosmer. She just liked the name Bubba Starling. Who was the manager of the 1985 Royals? She put Bubba Raphael. That is not the right answer. It is Dick Hauser. Hauser. Okay, and then who was the Royals' first-round draft pick in 2007? She put Eric Hosmer. It was Mike Moustakas. Eric Hosmer was 2008. Out of the 2 trivia questions, I got
Who is the manager of the 1985 KC Royals? I got that one right, but I missed the other one because so uh my one of my player highlights. I think I'm recording that. Yeah, okay, it's Eric Hosmer. So I wanted to do trivia question about Eric Hosmer, but I messed up, as my class would call it, done goofed. Okay, moving on to the lineups. These are a mess. Okay, number 1. For her lineup, she put number 1, Escobar. Number 2, Lorenzo Cain. Number 3, Hosmer. Number 4, Morales. Number 5, Salvador Perez. Number 6, Gordon. Number 8, no, what? Number 7, Dyson. Number 8, Colon. Number 9, Moustakis. For starting pitchers, she put 1, Ventura. 2, Ian Kennedy. 3, Chris Young. 4, Edison Volquez. And for relief pitcher, she put 1, Chris Medland. 2, Calvin Herrera. 3, Hochevar. 4, Collins. 5, Soria. 6, Duffy. 7, Zimmer. Yeah, he's not going to play this year. Yeah. Okay, and number 8, Davis as the closer. Starting lineup, those were okay, I guess. I'm going to pull up my one from last week. I should have had this up. I'm sorry. Hopefully I can find this. The one that me and G McHugh did. Nope. Oh wait. Okay, so okay. So mine was 1, Escobar. 2, Dyson. 3, Hosmer. 4, Cain. 5, Morales. 6, Moustakis. 7, Gordon. 8, Perez. 9, Infante. She put Moose as number 9. I think Moose is better than 9. Yeah, Gordon and Moustakis. I think that they're gonna be 7 and 8 players, and that order might switch. Where'd you put Morales? She put Morales in 4, and I put him in 5. Cain, number 2. Yeah, maybe. In my mind, Perez should be number 8 because he's just not. He does not make contact enough. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now Grant's lineup was 1, Escobar. 2, Hosmer. 3, Moustakis. 4, Morales. 5, Cain. 6, Perez. 7, Gordon. 8, Dyson. 9, Infante. Yeah. Okay, well, we're all in agreement that Hosmer's gonna go first. No, Escobar. What is going on today? Okay. And then Hosmer going second. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna go pretty close. Dyson might be too high for me. If he has a good start to the season, he could potentially be in the top 4 because of his speed. But I don't think Lorenzo King should be second like Sophia has him. Yeah, he could be a 5th player. Honestly, I don't think Morales should be number 4 in Grant's. I mean he's our DH, but I think he was number 5 most of the time last season. I could be wrong about that, but I'm not sure. 5, Sophia has Salvi. That's just too high for Salvi. I think 5 would be Morales. Grant thinks 5 would be Cain. This is all over the place. Yeah. Sophia's probably better about where Dyson is. Grant has Dyson as 8. She has him as 7. Another thing to think about is where Clone, or I don't know why she put Clone. I mean, Infante's. Actually, if we look at Article 3 by me, there is a fair fight that's being put up between the two. I'm not sure. They'd be close. I think it's all about just spring training and how they play. So it could very well be Cologne. Yeah. Um, yeah. But besides that, yeah, Hosmer was the 2008 draft pick. Moustakis was 7, and the manager for the 1985 Royals was not Bubba Raphael. It was Dick Hauser. Ugh. Okay. Um. Yeah. Oh, we have to look at starting pitchers. Of course. Yeah. I personally am not a huge Chris Young fan. I like Danny Duffy more, so I would put Duffy as starting pitcher. Um, I for some reason thought Edison Volquez was injured, but I told Sophia that he wasn't. So who knows? It's always fun to be the one that people ask about Royal stuff. How long has this been? 9 minutes. Wow. Okay, I'm going to cut a lot out of this. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of the players on the Royals are married or have significant others. But Royals manager Ned Yost had a fabulous quote about romance. Ned Yost says romance is overrated. That is a direct quote. Romance is overrated. Yeah. Yeah, I'm counting that as an article, buddy. ESPN has my, I guess, second article if you want to count the trades and signings. If you want to count the Moose arbitration thing. But they actually have something I did not really think about. The article is called "The Royals' 2-Year Plan." They start off by talking about how, Hosmer, Kane, and Moustakis were big parts of the World Series and winning it. And then they say that the projected numbers for the Royals financially in the next 2 years, they're not going to make enough to be able to sign the big contracts that Hosmer, Kane, and Moustakis are all going to want when they're free agents after the 2017 year. And the front office of the Royals has confirmed this. So all the people that work with numbers and paying the Royals bills, they have said there's no way that we're going to be able to keep all 3 of those guys, who were all huge parts of the Royals. They were all big parts of our lineup. Defensively, they were young. They had talent. We're just not going to be able to keep them. Hosmer and Moustakis, they were drafted by the Royals. They've been here all along. Kane, of course, was part of the hashtag thanks Zach Greinke deal that the Royals signed when Greinke left the Royals. All 3 of these people, they've been here a while. As we know now, Hosmer and Moustakis were signed in 2007 and 2008. I think I got those years right. 2006? No, it was 2007, 2008. I think. But so the Royal, like, okay, we have Gordon for 5 years. We have Ian Kennedy for 5 years. The players like that, we have Escobar for a few more years. We have Dyson and all these people. So we're gonna lose a major part of the team, but we're still gonna have players. We're just not gonna have all of the players. And this team has worked so well the last 3 years. We've come out of this drought. We've made Kansas City the pride of baseball again. We've made the Royals something that people want to go to. We've made all of these fans come out of nowhere and claim that they love the Royals. It's annoying, but at the same time, it's such a great thing to see. Something the Royals have missed since 1985. But we might only have 2 more years of that. Now, we're going to see Royals manager Ned Yost retire after this year. We're going to see Rusty Kuntz retire after this year. But we're still going to have Dayton Moore. He's going to pull the team together like he did in 2006 when he took control of this team. He brought this team out of a slump. He's my guess right now, not confirmed by anybody. Dayton Moore is going to stay around for 2-3 more years. He's going to get this team in a place where they will be able to function, and then it's going to be up to David Glass to figure out what to do next. If the Royals go to a World Series again, that is going to be fabulous. If the Royals get 2 more World Series, even better. But the time of greatness could end when Hosmer, Kane, and Moustakas leave in 2 years. Okay, so yeah, this episode's pretty long right now, and I'm just going to kind of run through some general Royals news. There were no notable trades this week. Okay, so on today, actually, Thursday, December 18th, the Royals front office extended the contracts for both general manager Dayton Moore and manager Ned Yost. Ned Yost was set to retire at the end of 2016, but his contract now runs through 2017. And it usually general managers' contracts are not like open to the public, so we don't know how long Dayton Moore is set to. Okay, the Royals announced on the 17th that they plan to extend the netting behind home plate to the end of the dugouts. So it will go quite a bit further down the first and third base lines now. They're doing this for safety, of course, because people get hit by fly balls. Yeah, but it will obstruct the game a little bit more for people at the stadium. So a little win-lose action. Okay, and Royal Spring Training has officially begun with pitchers and catchers officially reporting today. Most players did report yesterday. Next week's podcast will focus a lot on spring training once we kind of see how the players are adjusting in and what we can expect to see from everybody. So until then, I will not talk too much about it. Okay, but it is that time again. I have to get this video out. It's already a day late. Sorry about that, but I just had to finish recording some of that stuff. Yeah, if you could tell, the end was a little rushed. Hopefully next week I can record the podcast I would like to, where everything is done much better than part of this episode was. So if you have any suggestions for the next episode, please leave them in the comments. Like I said, next episode will focus mainly on spring training. My excuse for this being so long is it is the 5th episode special. Yeah. Until next episode, stay royal, Kansas City. We are forever royal.